Welcome to Crypto Finder. In this video, I'm going to run you through the essential features of the KuCoin cryptocurrency exchange, how to use them properly, and touch on a few of the advanced features at the end. Before I do that though, I just want to remind you of a few essentials. For starters, this is not financial advice, it's not a recommendation to trade, and remember that the exchange mentioned in this video may change their product, fees, and services at any time. Okay, so there's going to be many different parts to this guide, starting right at the beginning for people who've never signed up to KuCoin before, going through to navigating the order book and placing your first trade, as well as an overview of some of the advanced features at the end of the guide. So if you would like to skip ahead to a part that's most relevant to you, so for example, like how to place your first trade, then just head down into the description of this video where you'll find a menu to help you skip ahead. Okay, but for now, let's start right from the beginning. If you've never signed up for, deposited funds, or placed a trade on KuCoin, then this is where you should start. The first thing I recommend doing is opening up the Finder review of KuCoin, which I've got in front of me. You can find a link to that in the description below or in the top right-hand corner of this video. This gives you the chance to take advantage of any exclusive offers Finder might have with KuCoin at the time, like bonus funds or referral offers for signing up through us. But more importantly, it gives you a full review of the platform to help you make sure it is indeed the right exchange for you. The review includes things like the number of currencies supported, a breakdown of fees and how they compare with other exchanges, a simple list of pros and cons, as well as the chance to compare other exchanges based on your needs. Plus, you'll find a quick site guide to help you out, which is almost like a text-based version of this video, but super quick. And for signing up through KuCoin through our page, we do receive a small referral fee, so you're also helping the channel at the same time, which allows us to keep making these videos. So after you've had a read through that review, you can go to KuCoin by clicking Go to Site up the top. Once you've done so, it's a good idea to actually bookmark the page. This is because using this bookmark to access the exchange each time helps prevent any phishing attempts like fake URLs, which can sometimes appear when you try to get to an exchange through something like a search engine, an email, a link someone sent you, or a forum or Reddit thread. These links tend to look exactly like the exchange URL and web page, but instead they steal your login details. So now if you haven't already, sign up for KuCoin by clicking the link over here in the top right-hand corner. Make sure you have your KYC documents ready, like a driver's license or passport, so that you can get through the sign-up process as easily as possible. And once you've signed up, log in and we can start exploring the features of KuCoin. Okay, so when you log into KuCoin, you'll land on your account overview, which shows a breakdown of your assets, their estimated value, as well as your individual accounts, which is a bit unique to KuCoin. If you land on another page than this, you can easily navigate to it by going up to the top right-hand menu and going to Assets and then to Overview. So on this page, you'll see a few things. First is your main account, which is mainly used for the storage, withdrawal, and deposit of funds. By default, any cryptocurrency you deposit into your KuCoin account will go into this account. What's important to note though is that you cannot make any trades from this account. Instead, you need to transfer funds from the main account to your trading account, which you can see on the right. To do this, you just click on the transfer button under the main account, and once you've transferred funds into your trading account, you're ready to start trading. Also, if you later need to withdraw funds out of KuCoin, you will need to transfer them again out of your trading account back into your main account. Remember that the main account is also password protected by your trading password, so while all this might seem like a hassle, it's really all in the name of security. And before we leave this page, I do just want to point out a few things. Over on the left is a submenu for your account overview, which can give you further information on deposits, withdrawals, etc. And at the top is a main navigation menu, which takes you to all the different parts of the website And so if you ever need to get back to this page, simply click on Assets and then Overview. And lastly, you've probably noticed an extra account called Margin Account. That's an advanced feature which only experienced traders should use. So as such, we won't be covering it in this video. So now that we've quickly acquainted ourselves with our account overview, the next thing we have to do is go and enhance our security settings. In fact, this is the first thing you should do on any cryptocurrency exchange. So to do this, you go to your account settings, which is your initials in the circle in the top right-hand corner, and click Account Security. KuCoin then offers 3 ways of upgrading your security. The first is by enabling two-factor authentication, or SMS authorization on your phone each time you log into KuCoin. The other is by setting a trading password for sensitive actions like withdrawing funds, and setting an authentication phrase for emails to help prevent phishing attempts. It's recommended that you enable all 3 of these methods. As for whether you should choose two-factor authentication, also known as 2FA, or SMS authentication when logging in, keep in mind the following general advice. Two-factor authentication using a mobile device with an app like Google 2FA or Authy is often considered more secure than an email or SMS, as a hacker can gain access to your email address without your knowledge, and SMS is subject to a security flaw known as SIM swapping. Whereas if you use a 2FA-enabled app, the hacker would also need physical access to your phone as well as your exchange login details. So just keep that in mind and choose the best option that suits your needs. Okay, so now that you've improved the security of your account, let's deposit some funds so that we can start trading. To do this, head back to our account overview by clicking Assets Overview. KuCoin offers 2 ways of depositing funds into your account, either by transferring your existing cryptocurrency from another exchange or wallet, or by purchasing a select range of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP using a credit card. It's worth noting, though, that this service is provided by Simplex rather than KuCoin, which is a third party, and fees are typically quite high compared to purchasing via a fiat on-ramp exchange, such as Coinbase or Kraken. For instance, the minimum fee is $10, so it's advisable to transfer cryptocurrency for an existing exchange or wallet to KuCoin rather than purchasing it directly on the platform where the minimum fee is $10. So to do that, to transfer cryptocurrency from another wallet or exchange, let's click on the Deposit tab on the left-hand menu. Then simply select the cryptocurrency you'd like to deposit from the drop-down menu, and you will also be provided with an address, which you can copy to the clipboard or scan the QR code. Depending on the cryptocurrency, you may also be given additional instructions or things to keep in mind. Copy this address into the withdrawal section of the exchange or wallet you are moving funds from, and proceed to withdraw funds out of that account, thereby depositing them into your KuCoin account. Always remember to check that the address is correct, and if you're moving a large amount of money, consider moving a small amount first to make sure that you've done it correctly, especially if you are new to cryptocurrency. After transferring, you will have to wait a while for the funds to appear in your KuCoin account. The amount of time will vary depending on the specific current cryptocurrency you've chosen and the network traffic. For instance, Bitcoin might take upwards of an hour, while Ethereum may only take a few minutes. As for which cryptocurrency to deposit and trade with, well, that's up to you. But I will be going through the different types of markets available on KuCoin in the next section, so you can watch that first to get a better idea of what's available to you. While we wait for our funds to clear, let's have a quick look at the Withdraw tab so that you can do the opposite and learn how to take funds out of KuCoin when you want to. This interface looks similar, except that this time you need to provide details rather than just copying them. After selecting the cryptocurrency you want to transfer, you'll need to input the recipient address, the amount of funds being transferred, and then you can also leave a note for yourself in the remark box, such as a reminder of what address you're transferring to or what the transfer was for. Okay, now that our funds have cleared and are in our account, Let's look at placing our first trade. To do that, go up to the top menu and click on Markets in the top left. This is the market's homepage where you get an overview of market activity on KuCoin. So let me talk you through what's going on here from left to right. At the top, we've got 4 indexes for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP. These are simply aggregate price feeds from several exchanges. That gives you an average price for that asset, just like how CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko gives you aggregate price data from several exchanges. They're not really relevant to us right now, though. Below that is the different markets you can trade. The name of the cryptocurrency at the top is the base asset that you trade other coins against in that market. All that means is when I select BTC, I'll be trading Bitcoin for other altcoins in that market. See, if we scroll down here, there's lots of coins and liquidity for the BTC market. This is pretty standard on most exchanges as well. And then KuCoin offers some additional markets. There's KCS, which is the KuCoin Exchange's native token. I'll talk a little bit more about the benefits of holding or using KCS towards the end of this video. As we can see, there's not many options for trading KCS against other coins though. So next is USDS, which is short for US dollar stablecoins. This is where you're going to find a variety of different stablecoins that can be traded against cryptocurrency. If we scroll down, we can see USDT, DAI, USDC, PAX, and NUSD, which are all different types of US dollar stablecoins. And last in the list of markets is alts, which is mainly where you can trade Ethereum against other coins. Although there are 1 or 2 Tron and Neo pairs in there as well, which is why the category is called alts and not Ethereum. Okay, so that's basically an overview of the different markets available for you to trade. So as we browse through those markets, you might have noticed that they were split into 2 parts. There was the KuCoin Plus, and then there was Main Market. So this is another unique feature to KuCoin, and it's just a way of splitting up projects into ones that KuCoin feels are high quality and less risky to invest in, which go into KuCoin Plus, and then the rest go into the Main Market. You can look on the KuCoin website to see how they decide what criteria goes into KuCoin Plus. But the really important thing is that they stress that cryptocurrency trading carries risk at all times, and just because it's in KuCoin Plus doesn't mean it's immune to risk. So if anything, I would still treat the coins in the Plus market with just as much scrutiny as those outside of it. And remember to never invest more than you can afford to lose. And this video is not financial advice, rather it's just a simple explainer of how the exchange works. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is place your first trade really, and to do that we select the coin pair that you want to trade. So for instance, let's say you wanted to trade Bitcoin against EOS, you simply find that pair in the list and click on it. Then you'll be taken through to the spot market page. This is just like the trading screen of most other exchanges, but for some reason KuCoin call it spot, which is more of an old school trading term, whereas for instance on something like Binance they just call it exchange or markets. Also, you can always navigate straight to this page if you like by going to the top nav and clicking on Spot. And then once you're here, you can click on the KuCoin homepage button to go back to the homepage, vice versa. Anyway, this is where all the action happens. So let me talk you through what's going on this page before we do anything else. First thing to notice is what's on the left. That's the list of markets, just like we saw on the last page, but they've been condensed. So if you want to change to trade in a different market without leaving this page, you can do so. So for instance, we can switch from EOS BTC, which we're on now, over to the stablecoin markets and trade against a completely new coin. Also, you'll notice a little 10x symbol next to some coins. That just means you can trade those pairs with leverage, but that's an advanced trading technique which carries a lot of risk, so it's not something that we're going to show you in this tutorial. So then if we move across the top, we can see some historical price data for this particular market, which is EOS BTC. First is what the last price was, so what the last trade went for, as well as the 24-hour change and a percentage change beneath it. Then along the highs and lows for the given period as you go along. So just keep in mind that price is denoted in Satoshis, not dollars, when you're trading in a Bitcoin market. And that's because we trade EOS against Bitcoin. So the price of EOS is denoted in Bitcoin, and Satoshis are the smallest unit of measure for Bitcoin. So I won't go into it now, but it's a good idea to start learning, or at least thinking of prices in terms of Satoshis if you're going to be trading using Bitcoin quite frequently. So dollars is more relevant if you're using stablecoins to trade, but thinking in terms of Satoshis is more relevant if you're using Bitcoin to trade. Okay, so below all that is the historical price chart with candlesticks, just like you would see on any other exchange. If a price chart and candlesticks are totally new to you, then I suggest you actually pause this video and read Finder's Guide on Trading, which explains all this stuff for you at a nice and introductory level. It's in the right-hand corner of the video now, as well as in the description of this video below. And now this chart that we've got in front of us is powered by TradingView, which is great because if you've used TradingView charts before, you'll be familiar with how it works and how it looks. The basics, though, are that you have time on the x-axis and price on the y-axis. You can then zoom in and out with your mouse or select a time period above. When you select a time period, it just means that each candlestick represents that given time period. So 30 minutes, each candlestick shows how price moved in that 30-minute interval, 1 hour, how price moved in that 1 hour interval, etc. Speaking of price movements, on the right is the order book, which shows you all the active trades that are going on right now. On top is in the red is the offers that people who are holding EOS are making. So for instance, they are asking for this amount of Satoshis for one of their EOS coins. And then below that in green is the traders holding Bitcoin who are offering this much Bitcoin for each individual EOS coin. And then sandwiched in the middle is the last price. So that's the last price a trade was settled for. So it's the middle point between the two sides that they last agreed upon. And you can also see a dollar value next to that, as well as a 24-hour percentage change there. So that order book, as well as the historical data on the graph in the middle, are perhaps the most important parts for you to pay attention when trading, as they give you both a historical idea of the market's movements as well as current price action. Okay, so let's actually make a trade. To do that, we come back to the middle, and just below the graph where we can see that we can buy EOS on the green side or sell EOS on the red side. So let's pretend we have some Bitcoin in our account and we want to buy EOS. We then have two options, and listen up now because this part's really important. We can either place a limit order or a market order. A limit order is where we write down the price we are willing to pay in Satoshis for a single EOS coin. You then put in how many coins you want to buy for that price. So even if that price is nowhere near where the market is right now, let's say it's 20% cheaper than the last trade, by using limit order, our trade will not be accepted until our desired price is met. And this is how most people trade because it gives you full control over the price you want to pay for the trade. But on the other hand is a market order, where instead of choosing a price yourself, you're given the best market price. So remember that order book we saw before? The best market price would have been the lowest offer on the red-hand side of the book, which was on top. So the advantage here of using a market buy is that you just put in the amount you want to spend, and the exchange gives you as much as possible for that amount instantly. But watch out. By doing this, you're risking something called slippage, whereas where it might start at one price, but finish at a higher price because there wasn't enough of the coins at the low price to fill your whole order. So I won't go into slippage in detail here, but I do encourage you read more about it if you're going to be trading often. So you might be wondering, why does the market buy exist then if it's not quite as good a deal as the limit buy? Well, that's not necessarily true for starters, but it's also for people who want to instantly enter or exit a particular trade, as well as newcomers who don't really care about saving a few dollars or cents on price, but just want to log in, buy a coin, and log off again and kind of forget about it. And those sorts of people are probably leaving it there as an investment as well. So a market buy is definitely the easiest way to buy cryptocurrency if you're not concerned with the day-to-day price swings or any of that sort of stuff, and you just want to buy and hold the asset for the long term, and you're kind of zooming out and taking a much longer time frame look at things. Whereas the limit orders are more for people who want to actively trade and capitalize on changes in the market. So now that we know the difference between limit and market, let's simulate placing a limit order. So it's all very straightforward. As I said, in the price field, put in the price you want to pay for the coin. So when dealing with Satoshis, it can get a little bit confusing with all the decimal places. So what I actually like to do is click on the price field first, then go over and click on the last price on the right, which automatically fills in the price field for me. Then I know that I'm down to the right amount of decimal places or zeros or whatever, as you can kind of see here, and then I can tweak the price how I want. Okay, so then once you've done that and put in the price that you want, you then go down into the next box and put in the amount that you want to buy. You'll also notice that beneath that there's boxes that say 25, 50%, etc. They just allow you to spend that much of your total stack of Bitcoin on the trade. So say you want to spend 50% of your total amount of Bitcoin on this trade, you just click the 50% button and it works out for you exactly how many coins you can buy of EOS for half your stack of Bitcoin. And then once you've input everything, double check it all just beneath, and you can see the volume below, which shows you the total amount of Bitcoin you'll be spending, as well as the rough equivalent in USD that you're spending as well. And then you just click buy. It's as easy as that. And if you want to sell instead of buy, you basically just go through the same process, but in the box on the right-hand side. And of course, you now set the price that you want to sell for and the amount of coins that you want to sell, etc. Okay, so now let's look at making a market order, which is, I think, even easier. Switch over to the market order so that this time you can't input a price because, as I mentioned, the best price is chosen for you. So just put in the amount of Bitcoin you want to spend. Double check everything's correct, and then if you're happy with how it all looks, just click buy. And again, to sell, it's the same process in reverse. Just put in the amount you want to sell, check everything's right, and hit sell. That's really all there is to it. So before we leave this page, there's one thing I want to point out to you, which is the KCS Pay Fees button hidden over here in the right-hand corner. If you own KCS, which is the native token of the KuCoin exchange, and switch this button on, instead of getting charged fees for each trade in the base pair of that trade, which in this case would be Bitcoin, you'd be instead charged in KCS. So the benefit here is that you get a discount on trading fees by paying them in KCS. So not just that you save a bit of Bitcoin and use this coin instead, you also get a discount on it. So your fees go from, let's say 0.05% down to 0.01%. But that discount varies depending on how much and how often you trade. But the feature began with Binance, and it's now become a really popular across exchanges to have a native token and for that token to give you some sort of discount on trading or other perks. So it's worth thinking about whether or not you want to hold some KCS in your account just for that fee discount. But KCS can also be used for some other things. So if we head back to the home page, we can get a little overview of what KCS can be used for. So if we go over to Earn, we can see that the KuCoin bonus, which gives users a reward simply for holding KCS in their KuCoin account. This bonus is 50% of all the fees collected from trading each day on KuCoin, which is paid out to KCS holders proportional to the amount of KCS that they hold. And if we then head over here to the More and then the KCS ecosystem, we see a full breakdown of all the ways that KCS can be used. It also gives you a chance to buy KCS directly from KuCoin. And if you're going to be using KuCoin regularly, then it could be worthwhile digging a bit deeper and considering whether a few KCS would be a good addition to your portfolio, thanks to the benefits that you'll be getting by using KuCoin regularly. And if you want to learn a little bit more about KCS, check Finder's Guide to KCS, which goes in depth into the trading discounts and dividends, and has a useful little case study to put it all in perspective for you and make it a bit easier to understand. And there's also a chance that KCS will be used for even more products in the future, much like Binance has done with its hugely successful BNB token. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the special features that KuCoin offers now. So you will have noticed that KuCoin offers a bunch of other features that we haven't dived into yet. So let's actually go over each of those briefly to get a better understanding of what they do and how they work, so that if you like the sound of them, you can go and investigate a bit further. However, since most of these features are advanced features which carry a lot of risk, we won't be going too deep into them into this video, and like I said, sort of introducing you to them so that if you want to go and learn more, you can. Alright, so firstly, under Spot, there is also margin. This requires opening a special margin account which allows you to trade with leverage. Leverage means that you can place an order with, say, just $1, but the purchasing power of that order is $10 because you've taken 10 times leverage. So if your trade goes well, you get more profit, but if it goes badly, you also lose more. And there's also a lot more to it than that, which you should definitely learn about margin trading, and it varies from platform to platform. It's definitely not recommended to anyone new to trading because you can lose your money quite easily when the market moves against you. Next is contract. These are futures contracts for Bitcoin where you bet on the price of Bitcoin being up or down by a certain date. They're traded on the KuCoin decentralized exchange, which is called KuMex. And again, these also offer leverage and are an advanced trading feature. Next is Earn, where KuCoin offers a bunch of cool features to help you make money off your existing investments. This is what's known collectively as decentralized finance, and you'll find it in heaps of apps in the cryptocurrency and especially Ethereum ecosystem. It's an emerging economy, but that means that it's still unproven and risky, even though it can offer some really attractive sort of interest rates on your coins. So for instance, with Pool X, you can stake coins and earn block rewards from being part of a staking pool, although this only works for coins or tokens that use a proof of stake system and does require handing them over to someone else to manage them for you. Then there is soft staking, which isn't actual staking where you secure the chain, but rather just depositing crypto and earning interest on it with the KuCoin exchange. Plus, you can withdraw those coins at any time, and interest is paid out daily. So it's more like depositing funds into an interest-earning bank account. Then there is the Lend feature, which allows you to lend your cryptocurrency to margin traders who are trading on KuCoin and earn interest back on your crypto for doing so. And then there's the KuCoin bonus, which we've already talked about. And lastly, there's the referral, where you just get a referral bonus for signing up a friend to KuCoin. But if we go over to more, there's, I think, two more things I want to go over, which is, the first is Spotlight, which is like an ICO or IEO launchpad for new projects to host a token sale on KuCoin. So an ICO is just an initial coin offering, and an IEO is an initial exchange offering, which is basically just an ICO done on an exchange. And this allows you to purchase coins or tokens as part of an initial coin offering before they're launched on an exchange. If we go into that, you can see some of the previous projects that have launched this way. And lastly is Arwen, which is a special wallet that allows you to trade on KuCoin directly out of your own wallet. So I don't know a great deal about it or its reputation or security, but it definitely looks like a cool feature and something I would be investigating a bit more if I use KuCoin frequently. Okay, so that's all there is to it for an intro to the basic features of KuCoin. I hope this video has been helpful for you, so if it has, please consider leaving a like or a comment below, as it really does help boost the video and get it in front of more people like you. If you want to know more about KuCoin, as well as get a full review of it, you can head over to Finder's KuCoin review page, which is found below, and also at the start of this video. And we also have a comparison page of over 40 cryptocurrency exchanges, so you can actually branch out and see what else there is on offer for you. There's also a bunch of other useful pages in the description, like the KuCoin shares page, the guide to trading, and that sort of stuff. And if you're still watching, then you must have really liked this video, so why not subscribe to the channel and keep up to date with the latest news, interviews, and guides. So that's all from us today. Thanks very much for watching, and that's bye from us at Crypto Finder.